So Rico's Secret Shop in Outerplane just opened up after the latest update. And yeah, the first way to access it is in the lobby. It just appears in the bottom right here. You can just click on it and it brings you to the secret shop. The second way to access it is just to go to your base, and it'll also be here on the bottom right. So how do you know when the shop is going to open? So 1 hour before reset, the shop's going to be open for 1 hour, and there's also a timing 9 hours after reset. The shop will also be open for another hour. So basically 2 times a day, 2 hours in total, you'll be able to access the shop and buy your stuff. But as you'll see, only the slot 1 stuff is actually worth buying in the end. So as you can see, there are up to 8 slots in the secret shop that you can unlock in total. So the way to do that is to just buy things in the shop. So you can see I've already bought the portable gift ×3, and you can see my bar here, level 1, has gone up by a little bit. So for level 1 to level 2, it will take about 5. You can see all the information in by clicking the chance information, and it will open up a new web page to the screen that gives you all the information on what can drop in the shop and how much everything will cost. So here we can see exactly what will be sold in every slot. So starting at level 1, we have slot 1 and slot 2, which you already have unlocked. So slot 1 will always be presents, and they'll always cost only antimatter or gold, which is good. The gold, not so much, so you usually want to save your gold here unless you really need your presents. But if it's antimatter, you always want to buy it because you're gonna always have too much antimatter to spend. Now, this is why I don't like the secret shop, because everything except for slot 1, which only sells presents, costs ether. So you can't buy any of these things with gold or antimatter. So this is a really big disappointment, because you really have to save ether for the Demiurge banners, otherwise you can't keep up with all the new units. It's really hard. So the fact that all of these items are all ether locked means that only like whales will be able to buy them, because they can afford to spend the ether, while like free to play or low spenders really have to save as much ether as they can for the Demiurge banners. Let's go through the rest of the slots anyway. So in slot 2, there'll always be some kind of recruitment ticket, so normal or special. So this is just the standard free 1 pull a day banner, and this one is the special ticket, is the one where you have the drop rate up for the new units and everything like that. So it will always cost ether. So maybe if there's like a significant discount at like 50%, it might be worth buying. But other than that, like the one that we have right now in the shop that you saw earlier, it was for the normal banner, and it was only 5% off. So I'm only saving 8 ether there. So it's 100% never worth it to buy something like that. Next we have slot 3, and it's always a guaranteed 6-star armor. And it's always at least superior, I believe, is the green rank. So it can be green, blue, or red. So you definitely would never want to buy a green or blue one. You might be able to buy the red one if it's at like a significant discount, like 50% off. I can only see this ever worth buying for like a free-to-play player or low spender if it's like a really insane red 6-star piece with really good stats and like really high rolls, like at least let's say 10 rolls on them in total, because a red piece can come with 12 rolls at the start. So everything I said about slot 3 armor applies to slot 4, slot 5, because they're all you just need good stats and like a good amount of rolls on them on the red pieces at a good discount. So for example, if it was like 500 ether, but it was like a 6-star weapon, attack percent, let's say, with like 3 speed rolls, 3 crit chance rolls, 3 crit damage rolls, and like 3 accuracy rolls, that would be like 100% worth it, because there's like no way that would ever end up as a terrible weapon, right? It will always be like a really good weapon in the end. But the chance of that is so minuscule because of the fact that there's green, blue, and red for like armor, weapon, accessory. So in the end, like nobody's ever going to be buying any of the slot 3, 4, or 5 items in the shop, because it's just going to be so rare to get a perfect piece. Next we have slot 6, which is guaranteed a present or a skill manual. Again, like only whales who really need skill books will be buying this, because nobody in the right mind will be spending ether on skill books, right? And same with slot 7, like Glue Knight and Potentium, that's alright, I guess. But again, it's ether only, so no one's ever going to buy it unless you're a whale. Slot 8, Transit Stone's probably the best thing in the whole shop, but again, it's only Ether, so it's kind of pointless, because why would you spend Ether if you can just like buy a pack for like 60 bucks that has all the Transit Stones you need? Why would you spend Ether on it? It doesn't make any sense. And I think there are prices for these as well, so scroll all the way to the bottom. So Transit Stone individuals cost 2,000 Ether. Nobody in their right mind would buy it, even if it was at like a 50% off discount, right? So Transit Stone total 1650. It just costs way too much. Only whales would be able to afford it. So it's not Rico's Secret Shop, it's Rico's Whale Shop. And finally, we see the number of purchases that we need to unlock the next level. So we start at level 1, we buy 5 to get to level 2, and we get 1 more slot. We go 5 for this, then 5 for another slot. So in total, we need 10, 15, 25, 35, 50, 65, 85. I think it's 110 if I didn't count incorrectly. So you buy 110 times to unlock all the slots. But again, for most players, like 99.9% of players, the only thing you're ever going to be buying from is the tier 1 anyway. So yeah, Rico's Whale Shop. Overall, first impressions of Rico's Secret Shop is that it's really disappointing, because I was expecting to be able to buy like Transit Stones even for like, even if it cost like 1 mil gold, like that would be worth it, right? Or like a couple hundred antimatter cogs as well. But they've locked everything except for the first slot behind Ether, so this is definitely like a trap. Like, you should not be spending any Ether on here unless it's like some godly rolled red 6-star piece. And that wraps up my review, my first impressions, first look of Rico's Secret Shop, aka Rico's Whale Shop. And yeah, see you in my next video. See ya.